Hello, people. This is the hardest one I had to make so far, right? Some of you might remember an earlier video I made about a miracle regarding me dog Rihanna there, me old scoochy woochy poochie. Well, as I said before, what happened was Rihanna's belly swollen up. It swole up, and she wasn't eating for a while, and I brought her into the vet, and the vet told me that she was pregnant, and I said that wasn't possible, that I'm around my dog all the time, and even when I go shopping, I lock her and her sister away in my flat, and that no other dog is getting near her, and the vet insisted, and I says, well, you could get an x-ray. She brought her in to do an x-ray on her, and in the x-ray, she said, well, I'm 99% sure she's pregnant, and I was relieved because I thought my dog was going to die. So that was it anyway, and she gave me special dog food, but Rihanna still wouldn't eat properly, and when I brought her home here, and that was on a Friday, I went in, and I brought her home the same evening, and she was here, and she still wouldn't eat, but she'd drink a bit of water, and I thought, alright, the vet told me that she didn't have any room for food, because she had babies in her, and she could make out outlines of spines in the dog. So that's what the vet told me, and I brought her back here anyway. She started to get weaker and weaker, and I was sure it was because she was having pups. And then on, what day was it now? It was on let me see, Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Yesterday, yeah, it was on Tuesday. A friend of mine called, and he needed a hand at doing a job, it was out in a building construction site, and I couldn't let him down, so I went there, and I was thinking she might have pups, and I'm gone. When I came back, she was at the back door, and she wasn't able to walk. So I carried her up the stairs, and I put her on that towel there I have underneath her there, and I even went down to the shop, and I even bought myself a few little balloons, and I bought a few pins. And my theory was, when a pup comes out, I'll be able to feed the pups, So she was facing round the other way, where her tail is there, her head was there, and I watched her for a while, and I pet her, and I prayed to God that she'd be alright, and her pups would be alright, and her belly was going in and out, and I thought it was contractions, and then while I was looking at her, she took one last breath and died in front of me, and black fluid came out of her mouth, and of course, me being the way I am, I went nearly crazy and cried and asked God why he took me pup. She was only 4, and she was like me baby, and she died then. So I brought her out to my father's house, and I buried her, and I just did it for myself more than anything. But I think I begin to believe now that the vet was wrong. Even though they said 99%, I still believe the vet was wrong about her. There she is there. And the last few days, I won't deny it, I've been in a bad way over her, And there's one of the last photographs I took of her. She would lay down there, but God help her, I miss her so much. So that's what happened with Rihanna, and the guy that was with me says, I'll open her up if you want, and I'll check and see if, look at the colour on her coat, you'd never think she was unhealthy. He says, I'll open her up and see if there's pups in her. He says, but Rory, the black water liquid coming out of her mouth is a real sign of cancer, and I think the vet was wrong. She just took your money, and she misread the scan and saw tumours instead of pups. But somebody asked me to keep them in touch let them know how she was getting on, and that's what happened. That's the way she sleeps every night with me, Lucky and her. And Lucky is on her own now with me, so I'm thinking of getting another dog. But I don't know. I'm just gonna wait. So that's why I haven't been on for a while. And I saw this one here in a pound, and I thought, oh, I might get, that's a cute looking dog. I might get her and save her life. But I don't know yet. So I'll never know whether she was having babies or not, but I don't think so. I think that's the vet got it wrong. Even though they said 99% she's pregnant, I don't think she was. And I just had to get this over and done with this video because I wanted to move on. And people say whatever they want. It's not going to bring back my dog, or it's not going to make much difference to me anyway. Like, you know, so I just wanted to let you know what happened to Rihanna. And I honestly don't think she was having pups. I think the vet was wrong. So it just goes to show that no matter who you're listening to, you can't believe everything they say. Because the vet had me 100% convinced that she was having pups. But I believe what happened is that Labradors are prone to cancer, and I believe she had cancer. And I miss me poor old Scooch every day. And I'll show you what I put up there on Facebook about her. So I didn't want anyone to think that I was hiding. I just wasn't in the farm. I wasn't in the farm to talk to anyone about it, like, because I was too upset. As simple as that, like, you know. I just says goodbye, Rihanna, honey, God. So that's the story of Rihanna. But I give her a good life anyway. Okay, bye.